There's so many beautiful things on earth. And for the first few seconds of this, I invite you to think about those beautiful things with me. Think about beaches and the sunsets and sunrises and babies being born and puppies playing in yards. All those things make Earth such a blessing to live on. But not all things on Earth are good. And now I invite you to think about the bad things with me. Think about the people who've been bullied or raped or even murdered. There's so many cases that go unreported that I can't even give you an actual number as to how many cases happen each day. And in countries like Turkey, most of those cases belong to women. And why is that? Simply for the fact that they are women. And that's just how they're treated in that country. In Turkey, women are raped, murdered, and to make matters worse, their husbands support it and think it's okay. And that's just how they live their lives, and it's so sad to think that. I'm reading a book called Bliss. Bliss is a fictional story about a young girl named Miriam. When Miriam was just 15 years old, she was raped by her uncle. And now that shunned her, and her family forced her to live in a shed for weeks. After she's released from the shed, she's sent on honor killing because her family was still so ashamed of her. Now, hence the name Bliss, it ends up okay and she doesn't die. But it's a fictional story, and most real stories don't have that happy ending.
Women have taken to the streets of Turkey to denounce the brutal murder of a student killed after allegedly resisting a rape attempt by a minibus driver. 3 men have been arrested in connection with the death of 20-year-old Özge Can Aslan, whose burnt body was found in a riverbed in the southern city of Mersin.
Another young woman named Özge Aslan was attempted to be raped by a bus driver, and she ended up resisting the rape, and that got her killed, burned alive. Now that actually caused a bunch of havoc in Turkey, and so many young people and old people, everyone supported her. They protest and they're just so supportive right now, and that's awesome. But there are actually a lot of cases, and not many of them get that attention, and the numbers are still rising. Between 2002 and 2009, the number of rape victims went up by 1,400%, and about 40% of women in Turkey claimed that they have been physically abused in some way. Now there's no surprise as to why that's happening and why those numbers are so large. The men there say it's part of their religion to beat, physically abuse the women if they deserve it.
ولأنك يا عبد الله إذا اشتريت جهاز أو سيارة تعطى دليل كتالوج يبين لك طريقة الاستخدام. فالذي خلق الإنسان هو الذي أنزل هذا الكتاب ليبين الإنسان الخطى والطريق الذي ينبغي أن يسلكه. ولن نستحي أمام الأرض في أيام جهلها أن نقر أن هذا من شريعته.
No one deserves to be treated like that, right? But they do seem to think so. Now, Turkey differs from America in so many different ways, including the way their women are treated. But because of all the rapes in their past and murders, and how the women support it, it's so easy to see that how women are living. And it's so hard to think about the women have to live. It's just how they have to do it. Their government is doing things to protect them and trying to support them as much as they can. But I tell you all this because when the next time you hear your baby's first words or go see the sunset or walk on the beach, don't take for granted all this because most people don't have it that lucky.